Okay, so here's my grocery haul for the week. It is a very small one. I am going to be making Sloppy Joe's baked potatoes. At least that's what I'm calling it. I will insert a picture here of my recipe that I'm going to be using, as well as a Hawaiian chicken pan meal. So I'll insert that as well. Obviously, I'm pulling stuff from my pantry, but I did need to supplement a few things. So I've got the full array of peppers. That's I think both recipes call for some of these. I did purchase this sugar-free barbecue sauce, sweet and spicy, J. Hughes. I have never tried this before, and the recipe actually calls for a Primal Kitchen Hawaiian barbecue sauce, but my store didn't carry it. So is this Whole30 compliant? I don't think so, because it does contain sulfites, and I think there's some cornstarch and stuff in here. But again, I'm not being super picky. If you are, look for the Primal Kitchen version or make your own. I also purchased some Dijon mustard, apple cider vinegar. This is another one that I do not think is Whole30 compliant. I'll show you the recipes. I'm not sure if the sunflower oil is or not, but I'll let you look that up. Tessemae's honey poppy seed. I have tried her avocado version before, and I really like that. Avocado ranch, I think it is. And I think that one is Whole30 compliant. Some pineapple chunks, and onion, and of course it's cherry season. So you will see that in every grocery haul, unless they become exorbitantly priced or they are over. Okay, so that is it. Now we'll just have to do some prep. Okay, so let's get started on my first meal prep, which is the Hawaiian chicken sheet pan from Beauty and the Bench Press. The recipe calls for 1 to 1.5 pounds of chicken breast or chicken thighs. I am using chicken breast, and I have almost 2.5 pounds of chicken. So first thing I'm going to do is just empty that into the bowl. We're going to add some salt. They say 1/4 teaspoon for the regular recipe. I am just going to eyeball it because that's the way I roll. The recipe didn't list pepper as an ingredient, but in the instructions it did. So I'm just going to add some pepper because I don't think you can ever go wrong. And we're going to take 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. I'm not quite ready to get my hands dirty, so we're just going to mix this with a spoon to start. Okay, so to this we're supposed to add half a red onion. I didn't have a red onion. I had a yellow onion. This is half. I did not add anything extra, even though I have more meat, just because this is what I had. It calls for 1 red pepper and 1 orange pepper, and I added 1 yellow to compensate for the additional meat. The recipe called for 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. I am using this sugar-free barbecue sauce from J. Hughes, and I'm just going to add until I think it looks like enough. I know I'm living dangerously. Mostly I just don't want to make any more dishes dirty. Because that's the way I roll. So my guess is that's probably 1/2 cup and a little bit extra. I've never tried this barbecue sauce, so I hope it is good, because I'm making a lot of this. Okay, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. Now, the recipe did say you can serve this with cauliflower rice or regular rice if you are not watching your carb intake. I'm not sure if I'm going to serve it with anything. Maybe a potato. I don't have any cauliflower rice or cauliflower at home right now, and I don't really feel like eating rice. So I think that looks pretty good. So let's transfer this to the sheet pan, which I am going to drizzle with oil and then spread this on top. The recipe did call to spray it, but I don't have any sprays, so I just used regular oil, regular avocado oil. And I'm gonna try and lay this out as flat as possible. I think this would make a really great packet meal, like if you like to use your barbecue, just to put these in some aluminum foil packets and cook on the barbecue. Especially when it's hot out, I think that would be a great option. I probably should have spread this over 2 pans, but we're not going to. Okay, now the recipe said 20 minutes, so we will check it at 20 minutes, and we're going to add some pineapple at that point and then cook it for a little while longer. Okay, let me get this in the oven. Okay, we're moving on to the next meal. I am making Sloppy Joe, Whole30 Sloppy Joes, and I'm doubling the recipe, and I'm going to freeze half so I will have it for another day. So I've got 2 pounds of ground beef in here. We are going to add half an onion. The recipe calls for half a cup, so if you were into measuring, it would be a full cup to double. I think that's it. We're just going to brown this. So before I started browning, I actually took 2/3 cups of boiling water and I added 10 medjool dates to let them soak. I'm now going to empty this into the food processor along with a can of tomato sauce and a can of crushed tomatoes. The recipe calls for 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce and 1 tablespoon, I believe, of tomato paste. I'm skipping the paste because I don't feel like opening a jar. So I'm going to get that all in the food processor and mixed up. Okay, so that's what it looks like pre-mixing. Here we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like ground up. Looks pretty good to my thinking, but then I'm not a chef. Okay, so let's go see how the meat is doing. Okay, guys, so this is what the sheet pan meal is looking like at 20 minutes. I'm gonna go and get the pineapple and add it. Okay, so the recipe called for, I believe, 1 cup of pineapple, but I opened the can, I didn't measure it because I don't want any leftovers, so I just threw the whole can in here and gonna call that good. We're gonna put it back in for 10 to 20 minutes until the chicken is done. Okay, so this was an additional 11 minutes. I tested with the meat thermometer and the meat is done, so I'm gonna pull this out and call this one finished. I will also insert a photo of this once plated. Okay, the meat's not quite done yet, so I'm going to get the spices all assembled and ready to go. Okay, so here's the spice mixture. Because I'm doubling the recipe, it's 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon minced garlic, 1 teaspoon parsley, 1 teaspoon salt. And this is pretty much done, so I'm just going to drain this and then I will come back and we'll go on to the next steps. Okay, I drained most of it. Good enough. Adding green peppers. I'm going to add this, stir it, a reduced heat to medium, and then we're going to add the tomato sauce. This is what it's looking like combined. It does say to take 2 tablespoons of the reserve liquid from the from soaking the dates. And we'll just add a couple of those to here, like so. And then we're just going to let this simmer for a little bit. Now the idea behind this is not to serve it on a bun as you would traditionally serve sloppy joes, but instead to serve it on a baked potato. I like to cook my baked potatoes in the microwave because it's fast, and basically I like to cook mine for 3 minutes. I turn it upside down and then cook it for another 3, and that seems to work best for me. So when I plate this up, I will insert a picture here of the finished results. As I said, half of this will be my meals this week and the other half is going in the freezer. Okay, now I just have a mess to clean up.